Whenever you are.
Today, well, my name's Robert Harris, just to get that out of the way. I'm gonna be talking about performance enhancement drugs and how they will benefit the sports industry. My major claim is allowing professional athletes to use performance enhancement drugs should be allowed to improve competition in sports. My first claim is that sports activities depend on high levels to perform. PEDs, performance enhancement drugs, are substances that are used to improve performances. Anabolic steroids are the most common performance enhancers, which increases muscle mass and have similar effects of testosterone in the body, which gives an advantage in strength and injury protection. It gives advantage to performance levels in competition. My second claim is that PED allows athletes to perform at high levels. Athletes like Ray Lewis, Barry Bonds, Lance Armstrong, and others have connection in using PEDs. And my third claim is that fans and team owners get to be entertained by these high-level performances. All right, back to my first claim. Sports activities depend on high levels of performances. In professional events, the fans expect to see the best and the full potential in athletes. Sometimes it doesn't happen because injuries or lack of performances. If players were allowed to use PEDs, then the fans would get a better chance of entertainment. Players such as Ray Lewis, who was injured in a season-ending injury, recovered only a few weeks to play in the Super Bowl. This is because a substance that was in the deer antler spray, IGF-1, which is a substance that is banned in the NFL, but he was allowed to play and it recovered him on time to play in the Super Bowl. According to Time.com, deer antler spray contains IGF-1, or insulin-like growth factor, which is banned in the NFL, which I already mentioned. Players taking supplements to improve performance should be looked at the same as if players to take it to recover from an injury. So both have an advantage, but the problem seems to be an upper hand is provided to those that use stimulants that lead to better performances, which leads to PEDs PEDs allows athletes to perform at high levels. The most popular PED is anabolic steroids, usually called roids or juice, and is usually used by bodybuilders for competitive weightlifting. But other forms that have become more useful is HGH, and in an interview covered by the Associated Press in 2007, Andy Pettit admitted to using HGH on 2 occasions, stressing that they did it to heal his injury faster. In 2002, he was not punished for the supplement because it was not banned until 2005, although he admitted in 2007 to using it in 2002. Another example is Marion Jones, who was under THG, which is a stimulant used to increase muscle strength and promote muscle growth. In 2000s, she was an Olympic sprinter, and she won gold medals in the Olympics. She was stripped from that in 2007 for admitting to using this THG, the muscle strength and promote muscle growth. But in cases such as Barry Bonds, who had tested for amphetamines in 2006, and in a report by Sports Illustrated, Barry Bonds was on 2 designer steroids, HGH and the cream, the clear, the THG that I just mentioned, while he broke Mark McGwire's home run record, 70, by beating it by 73. And my last claim is fans are entertained by performances. In a study at Berkeley College regarding economic benefits from pro baseball players, taking PEDs concluded that average team revenues increased from $140 million in the early 90s to $322 million in the early 2000s, and calculated that athletes using PEDs would increase 8.8 more million over their career. With an increase in player salary and revenue for business owners, I feel allowing PEDs will improve competition in sports. And Mark McGuire is another example. In 1998, admitted to using Andro, a steroid designed to increase muscle strength and mass to shorten muscle recovery in time. During that time, he used the stimulant. He was involved in the home run chase with Sammy Sosa, which brought in more views for the entertainers, and it brought in more revenue for baseball owners, at least. With that being said, allowing professional athletes to use PEDs to improve sports competition should be accepted. Not only because it's an individual decision, but for the fact they are paid athletes and who are expected to perform at high expectations.
All right. At the beginning, you clearly state the claim. The problem is, as it's presented, it's a claim of policy instead of a claim of fact. Now, you do have a claim of fact built into some of the supporting arguments, and I think that you needed to stick to that. As you went into the speech, I think you focused more on the disputes of fact a little bit more, but when you got to the end again, you're back to advocating a policy claim and even making value judgments about that, and I think that you need to stick to the factual disputes for the purpose of this assignment at least. We get a reasonable definition of what the PEDs are, that's okay. There's a good layout of what the secondary points are, so that helps us follow the argument pretty clearly. You also signposted in the middle. I think it's a little confusing on the antler spray example. You need to show, for instance, that in fact that is the thing that resulted in Ray Lewis being able to recover from the injury. That seems to be an assumption that's built in there. I don't know that that is the case. If some expert says that, even if Ray Lewis said that this is the thing that made a difference, that would be helpful. As it is, it's just presented as he used this and then he was ready, and that's a pretty thin cause-effect relationship that's going on there. So you need like I said, you need to have a little bit stronger documentation on that point. On the you've got a whole bunch of examples of people who use performance-enhancing drugs and primarily to benefit themselves when they were injured. The Ray Lewis example and the Andy Pettit examples both fit in that category. Then you get to the discussion about Marion Jones, and you tell us what happened, but you didn't tell us, why is this a good illustration of something that benefits the sport, that produces an outcome that is desirable, that gets the audience or the fans excited about what's going on. The fact that she did this, that she was caught cheating, that she was stripped of her medals, I think is one of those things that makes people go, well, why am I cheering on somebody who is a cheater, that sort of thing. Whereas they may not have that effect on the players in other sports. In an individual sport like that might be the case. So I'm not sure that example helps you that much in this illustration. Like I said, the examples are interesting. It shouldn't be hard to find data about how many more people watched baseball when the juicers were going after the records, or that Barry Bonds' pursuit of the home run title also got people interested in the sport, and maybe more people watched. And of course, that he had an impact on the Giants and their success, that sort of thing. those are the things that prove the point that it has a benefit to the sport or to the player. You did have one piece of information that I thought talked about a very clear benefit, at least to the individual player, and that is that it increases their earnings over their lifetime. And that was an interesting study. It's a little conclusionary. It would be helpful if we had some more data on that. I think that you do a pretty good job presenting to the audience. Like I said at the end, it seems like you revert a little bit to the policy and value claims again.
That's what's up. Thank you.
All right, thank you.